What's up, guys? Dr. Seth back to help you solve your powerlifter problems. Now, the more lifters that I work with, the more apparent it becomes that one of the bigger roadblocks people face on their rehab journeys is their own expectations of how difficult or how easy the rehab process should be. And this is for a couple reasons. One of them is that they don't remember how difficult the climb was to get to where they were in the first place. In hindsight, they want to look back and remember the smooth cruising, remember the ease, and they don't remember the struggle it took to get to where they were. The other half of that is not understanding where they are in the moment and then how difficult it will be to get back to that point. And part of the reason that the climb back is more treacherous than the climb there is that you fell down the mountain. Like, going to straight up mountain climber analogy, if you get to a certain point and then you tumble half a mile back down, you're going to be jacked up, you're going to be beat up from that fall, it's going to be harder to get back up, and you are going to have to be more careful on the way back so that you do not make the same mistakes and slip back again, potentially even worse, right? And the exact same thing holds true to rehab. Like, on the way up there, most lifters were fully committed. Most lifters were trying their hardest. Most lifters were doing their best to get as far as they can. And what they thought was their best effort, what they thought was the best they could do, it failed them. They got hurt, they got set back, they got sent back down to the bottom of the mountain. And now, if they try to do that same shit again, they're just going to end up in the same spot. If they don't adjust how they are training, if they don't adjust how they are thinking about training, how they're thinking about movement, how they're thinking about movement prep, they're just going to tumble back down that mountain again. And doing something new, doing things differently, doing things that they've never done before, that is going to be hard. And that is what most lifters don't understand, is that if we are fucked up, not only is it going to take effort to get us unfucked, because we got to fix whatever injury we have, it's going to take effort to fix that injury, and on top of that, even more effort to fix that injury, and then be able to climb in a way that we do not fall back down that hill. Because if we fall back down the hill, what's the point? We got to start over, and it gets even harder from there. And the best advice that I can give in regards to this is that so many guys, they get hurt, they blow something off, they do whatever, and then they think, and then they tell everyone that their next meet, they're going to come back and smash a PR. Most of the time, that is not at all realistic because of exactly what I just talked about. Not only do you have to fix the injury, you have to figure the shit out so that you do not get hurt again. You have to change your training so that you do not hit the same roadblock. You have to change how you're doing things and managing loading so that you do not get stuck. Because if you do not make those changes, it might not be the same injury, but something else is going to fuck up and you will be set back to where you were, if not worse. And when I'm dealing with lifters, one of the biggest things that I encourage them to do is to just get back on the platform and not give a shit about what numbers they put up. And the reason I say this is not because I want them to not try, but because I don't want them to make poor decisions based on thinking that they have to force themselves to hit a PR. Because if they're trying to force themselves to take numbers that they shouldn't be, they're putting themselves at more risk than they necessarily need to. And if we're able to get a lifter in a rehab phase, their first meet back, to just go with the flow, take things as they come, they're going to learn how to manage training way better for the long haul. They're going to learn to detach themselves from the numbers and then focus on the process. And that is going to serve them for the rest of their training career, rather than just letting them go full send to the wall, thinking that they have to do this, that, or the other. And if we can get a lifter to have a successful first meet back, even if we aren't going with the mindset of let's hit a PR, even if we aren't going with the mindset of let's focus on numbers, period, it still ends up being a pretty good meet. And if they're able to do a meet without getting jacked up, that means that they can start the next meet from so much better of a place and then carry that on forwards. And it's like, if we have a good meet, if we have a productive post-meet period, we're able to have a more productive next meet. And then if we have a more productive next meet where we don't get jacked up, we can have even another more productive post-meet period. We can have another more productive meet prep, and it's just going to carry and build. But the problem with that is if they aren't willing to make changes in how they process training, in how they see training, in how they think about training, and how they actually train, they're never going to get to that point because what they know how to do, what they think's worked for them, what they think was working, got them fucked up. So if we are getting jacked up over and over again and we are not changing how we conceptualize training, we're making a mistake and we're not going to get past that roadblock. And I can say this because I have fucking been there. I have had repeat injuries multiple times in my career and I've also overcome them. And the reason I was able to overcome them was because I took a hard look at what I was doing. I took a hard look at where I was pushing too hard. I took a hard look at where I wasn't doing enough. And I made the necessary changes to allow myself to get better and to put pounds on my total again after some nasty dings. And that's not to say that like I had the smartest training strategy ever. That's not to say that I will never get hurt again. But I'm at least at a point where I am confident that no matter what happens, I can figure it out and I can come back from it. And in powerlifting, it's less about never getting hurt. It's more about knowing what to do when shit hits the fan so that we can adjust for it and so that we can overcome it. And like my most recent meet prep where 20 weeks before I was put in the hospital ripping my adductor off and I ended up hitting a squat PR, total PR on the platform, that's not what I want people to think that they can do. The only reason I was able to do that was because I got good at rehabbing because I've had too much experience being fucked up for my own good. But that's also what kind of allows me to help other people and allows me to teach other people because I have made damn near every mistake under the sun and I now know what to do to help someone find their way back. And to recap, it's like if someone is struggling to get back, it's like just take a hard look at what you're doing and ask yourself, is this really working the way that I think it is? Is this really getting the job done? Is this really pushing me forward? Or is this the reason I keep running into a wall? So guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you did, share it with your friends, like, comment, hit the subscribe button. Trying to build a channel here so it all helps and I appreciate the hell out of you. And if you need more personalized help, hit the links below, book a consult, talk about coaching. The list for coaching is pretty full right now, but if someone's got a good reason, I will try to find room to take them on. Peace out.